Darkness Radio. It's my boy Dave Schrader.
Cool. All right, we are live. So far, we only have 2 people. Some more people will be hopping on hopefully sometime soon. But until then, we got us. We have a new person here. Well, new to some of you, as far as affiliated with me, I guess, put it that way. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Motherfuckers, I am Thesis himself. It's your boy Thesis, a.k.a. Thesis himself from Vaping with Thesis. That's right. God bless it. Now, look, we got Rin Vapes.
Hold on.
They can't hear me, no?
I'm so unprofessional. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right, and now can they hear me?
No, they can hear you. It's just my video. I forgot to pause it.
Oh, they can hear. See, now they know who I am. Come on now. I'm kidding. That's fucking arrogant as shit. I'm gonna make sure everybody knows Rin right now. Hold on. Let me tweet this. You introduce yourself. You already know who you are. Who else are we having on the podcast?
Raven's supposed to stop by at some point. He got a little bit more than he bargained for earlier.
What do you mean?
Yeah. Fresh is gonna come out a little bit later. He's not home, I guess, yet. Because he's 3
Can
hours.
I just say something?
Hmm?
I appreciate the hell out of you having me on your show. Okay, look at my face. You see my eyeball? Who's this guy?
That's Raven.
Raven!
What's up?
What up, son? Hold on a second.
Going
Hold on
on?
a second. I'm vaping on that Raven's cut, which isn't necessarily yours, but it's got your name in it.
No, Ravens cut. Yeah, tobacco flavored.
No, it's not. But I mean, not that one anyway. That's a secret one. I shouldn't be talking about it. I'm gonna get fired.
Anyway, before I interrupted you, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I appreciate the hell out of you having me on your channel. Long story short, you stole my idea without stealing it, so that completely negates the whole stealing word. It's funny because when my boy told me about your paranormal podcast, I was like, motherfuck. Because I have a whole channel that I haven't released yet that is specifically that. Not only that, but it's more or less debunking a lot. I hate the word debunking. I cannot stand the word debunking, as a matter of fact. But for lack of a better term, debunking a lot of paranormal instances, as well as showing alternate explanations via psychology on a psychological level, as well as a physics level, as well as proving, I shouldn't say proving, but I should say proving beyond a reasonable doubt to me and to a lot of skeptics whom I know, the existence of the spiritual plane, but not in a spiritual sense, if that makes sense. So it's more or less, it's there. Science just cannot catch up with it at this time. 100 years ago, if you explain to somebody who lives in Minnesota that is nowhere near a mountain and is nowhere near a continental drift, and they had no idea what an earthquake was, if I sat and told them, hey, look, there is this thing, if you go that way west, the earth will shake and could possibly swallow you, I would point at them and I would laugh really, really hard. You understand? So it's the same exact idea when trying to explain the paranormal to someone who either A, doesn't believe, or B, has no reference point to what it is or never experienced it. Long story short, you beat me to the fucking punch to have vaping and paranormal. So I'm extremely excited.
Yeah, it's just kind of a random thing. I actually had a separate channel for mainly paranormal stuff, but it never really went anywhere. And then I found out a couple of people, in vaping were actually interested in the subject as well. So I figured I'd incorporate it in this channel since I have more of an audience here and people that are already interested in it. So that's all that is. Sorry.
Can I ask, dealt with, I guess you can say, not skeptics, because I mean like hard-nosed, atheistic haters.
Like, how do I deal with them?
Yeah, how have you dealt with them?
I haven't really got too many of those. I mean, there's always going to be skeptics. Like the Vaping Chronicles is kind of a skeptic. Fresh is a skeptic, but he's open to, receiving ideas, whether or not he agrees with them or not, which I think is important. I don't mind if people don't agree with me, just don't be closed-minded. You know what I mean? Like, be respectful and at least open to hear what other people have to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't mind that, because you're always going to have skeptics that don't believe in anything. And I'm not saying that the quote-unquote ghosts that I've seen are spirits, because I don't really think that. But,
Yeah. Well, that's a good question. Actually, you just brought up something, I think, interesting. The word and the term ghost. What would you define ghost as?
For me, the ghost now is just more of a description than an actual thing. Like, I don't think ghost and spirit are the same thing to me, because the things that I've seen, I would consider them quote-unquote ghosts because that's how they look. I personally don't think they're spirits, with the exception of one possibly, and that's because I found out that where I saw this thing, someone died there, and it fit the description of that person. So it's possible that I did see a spirit. It was one of the more interactive ones, but I'm still not like 100%, this was a spirit, because I don't know.
Yeah. I actually couldn't agree with you more on parts of that. I think the term ghost and spirit are used interchangeably, and I think that's used incorrectly, because I think a spirit is an intelligent being, whereas a ghost is more than likely a residual after effect, I guess. Because to tell you the complete truth, I've seen ghosts of people who are still alive.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't say of people who are still alive. I've seen residual energy after someone has left. For example, say just as for instance, left your house, and I've heard the exact same walking pattern that they would go from here to here to here, and I've heard their voice after they have left. Or, especially in extremely emotional situations where, I guess for the lack of a better term, an imprint is left.
Yeah.
Like when someone says an item is haunted, I find extremely interesting, because I have a hard time believing that a person would attach themselves to a specific item, like this mouse, for example. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's not that I don't believe that that's not the case. It's just that I'm trying to make sense of it, you know what I mean, in my brain.
Yeah.
Is that a ghost, or is that energy left behind on that object because there had a certain amount of emotional attachment to it? Or is it intelligent to it? Raven,
Well,
you're not saying anything.
Well, the definition of a ghost is someone that is dead, that's come back in a spiritual form or a manifestation. That's the definition of a ghost. It's also known as a mork, too. M-O-R-K.
A mork?
Mork, yeah.
What about a Mindy?
Funny.
What?
I like the other shirt that you had on a lot better. And
Let's not change the subject.
what sense you want to be,
A smart
want
ass,
to be
yeah.
smart ass.
I've never heard of a mork, to be honest.
Yeah. Let me look up definition. Let me change to my old man glasses so I can read.
But Itchy came up with a pretty good description of what I would agree with is a ghost. It's an echo of energy.
So it's an appearance of a dead person that is believed to appear or become manifest to the living, typically as a numerous image.
I think the definition you're reading was probably written by a bureaucrat who holds absolutely zero belief in spirituality. That's, of course, speculation, but I would I'm going to go ahead and go with my own definition of ghost because I really
No, it's from a dictionary.
no, that's what I'm talking about. Addiction. That's what I
Yeah.
mean. Someone who wrote the wrote whatever.
It's also a specter, a phantom, a wraith, a spirit, a presence, an apparition, informally a spook.
So it looks like we need to create another word for what we term it as. I don't know what it
Yeah.
would be though.
I still think a spirit is to me would be intelligent. I guess we're just it's an argument of semantics. You really can't win that argument.
Well, there's 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 ghosts, spirits, whatever you want to call them. It's all the personal preference of what you want to call them.
Absolutely.
There's spirits that are are, are aware that you are there. Okay, and then there are spirits that are unaware that will just keep doing the same thing every day at the same time over and over and over, and they're unaware that you're there. You know,
Yeah. I
and a
think
lot of them they say have an unfulfilled death, like there's something that they wanted to do before they died, or they got murdered, or it's an unfulfilled death that they have to be. There's something that has to be resolved before they move on. You know.
yeah, absolutely. I feel like that's more of a residual energy than something that's I guess more or less intelligent.
Yeah.
So in the instance where you're Raven, this question's more aimed towards you. So in the instance where you're seeing a spirit or whatever you want to call it, that's just repeating the same actions over and over again, do you think that's an actual spirit, or do you think that's just like, do you think it's actually a part of the person that was there, or it's just like kind of a recording?
I think it's a residual. I think it's a residual spirit. Something that will always be lost and has never found the chance or found a way to move on to whatever else is the next step. You know, because I've run across a couple of them where, like I told you before, the old guy in the mill, the abandoned mill, wheeling that cart every day, every night at the same time he'd do it. And I wasn't the only person that's seen him. There was a few others that seen him too, and they told me about it. You know, and then I had that spirit in that barn that was built in 1781, where I used to live. That actually um, knew I was there because she turned when I called my friend to come check this out. She turned and looked at me, and then quickly walked into where these doors used to be, and they're no longer there. You can see where the doors are, but on the outside of the barn, it's all shingled over. You know, so I think that the guy just didn't move on, and I
So
think
do
that
you think
she's got something that she needs to move on too, but that something probably happened. Maybe she got murdered because where the barn was and where the house was, they used to hide slaves there back in the back in the slave times.
so you think whatever it was you saw wheeling the cart, for example, was a intelligent spirit,
I don't
meaning like
think
it's
I don't think it was intelligent because it didn't acknowledge me. It didn't look at me. It didn't. Oh, when I called out, it didn't turn its head. I think it's just a residual thing. I think it's just a spirit that's just reenacting something over and over and over again. And
yeah.
and maybe I'm thinking that that's how that guy died. Maybe he was wheeling that thing, and that was the cause of his death.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't intelligent. I've had intelligent spirits. Even where I live right now, I did a recording, and I let my wife hear it. I was all alone. I did a recording, and it said my name, and then it said ashtray too. And I used to smoke back then. So
But
that's an intelligent spirit, you know.
Yeah, no, I agree with that completely. I think you hit the nail on the head. Um, but with I guess what I think is interesting on a lot of different people's opinions about the residual energy, the residual ghost, or the residual tape or recording, however you want to phrase that. Is I don't believe that you have to be dead, and I don't believe you have to be you've had to have died at that specific location. Like I said, I've seen ghosts that aren't dead. I've seen people, not doppelgangers, but I've seen actual apparitions on repeat of people who are still alive. And that's where I really started to question, not on a spiritual level, but on a scientific level, physical. And I don't mean physical like my hand, like being material or being tangible. I mean on a physics-based level. How is that happening? And I think that certain objects or certain things or certain scenarios and certain moments of time have so much of an impact. Or like an explosion, for example. When something explodes, you leave the crater or whatever is left in that explosive path. Or something is done 100 times, so like a path, like that guy with that cart, for example. If you take your lawnmower on your lawn without turning the blades on and go back and forth in the same path, you're going to kill the grass on that track. You're going to eventually make a track. And when that tractor is in the garage, someone can walk by your lawn and see what that tractor has done. So, for example, if I was working at a mill and I'm bringing a cart back and forth for 25, 35, 45 years, and I retire, and someone at nighttime sees that ghost move going back and forth on that cart, but I'm still alive, I truly think that there is some credence in
It's
that. In that,
it's
pardon?
spiritual energy. If it's a residual spirit, it's just spiritual energy. And to me, it's almost like when they talk about limbo. You know, you're in between one and the other. You know, and you
Mhm.
just haven't fully gone on. But I think that that's how that person died. That's my beliefs. Because I also, the same time, the same place, and there has been a few deaths at this place years ago, you know, like 100 years ago, people dying at this mill, because mills back then, they weren't the safest place in the world. You know, it was always safety third, you know. And
Yeah.
you could look up, and at the same exact time, as about 10:30 at night, you'd see a lady looking out the window of this mill at the same exact time.
Yep.
And when somebody else was there with me, I said, "Look at that mill behind me. Did you see anything there?" And a few seconds, he like scanned, and then he went, "There's somebody looking out the window." I went, "Thank you." Same exact time. But when I went there, now I know that it was abandoned. I know I used to go through that whole thing, and I know I locked every single door on every floor, so I know there was nobody in there. You
That's
know,
pretty great. I mean, that's pretty crazy, and that's
and
I guess that's kind of what I was getting at too earlier was with
I
the example
and I
of
seen and I seen shadows in that same place like that. I don't know if it was a God station where it was or whatever it was, but you used to walk in through the door, and it almost looked like a shadow was like looking around the corner, and then would go back, and it would happen every time. Now, a lot of things that happened in this place that I thought was spiritual activity, I debunked. Like I was walking across the floor, and it looked like this light was following me on my right-hand side. Well, I found out that my flashlight, because they put plexiglass over the original windows, the plexiglass, my flashlight was bouncing off the plexiglass and the light, and just reflecting back towards me and following me. So I was like, "Oh, that's debunked," you know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Rin, I want to comment on something you said that I quite literally couldn't agree with you more on, and that was that time truly doesn't exist. That was a theory. There's several scientists that have speculated on that particular statement being that time does not exist. Now, one of them was Einstein. That time is literally the concept of time is a part of our psychology. The secondary concept of time, the more physical manifestation of time, is an intangible way of putting the space around us, which I think is extremely important when it comes to the paranormal. When you say time doesn't exist, the time doesn't exist, that there is proof of that, in my opinion, with residual haunts, because on
hey,
some
DJ.
level, when someone does something, someone leaves an imprint of an emotional, or has an emotional impact on an item, and there's that continuous residual haunt. And then you can see that 100 years from now, you can see that. For example, what Reagan said about that guy wheeling the cart. In that person, that thing, that residual ghost, that image of that person wheeling that cart is still present. That is not the past. He is still doing that. And I think right there, in and of that theory, that is proved with residual haunts. That's why I totally want to comment.
Now I have a picture, which I'm trying to figure out a way to send it to Ren, but I have a picture because the house I told you about, George Washington's troops slept in our backyard. You can get documented proof of that. And I took a picture of the barn, and near the door of the barn is a soldier standing there. And you're going to see the picture, you know, in person, and then you can definitely see the uniform, the detail, and everything. You know,
Yeah.
which is pretty, amazing. You know, and then you get an apparition like Fresh, who just pops in. You know.
Huh?
And Daniel. Hello, Daniel and Fresh.
Hello.
Hello.
You want to briefly introduce yourself, because we kind of have a new homie.
You got a new homie. I see that.
Wow!
What's up, new homie?
What on, Ninja Kitty?
Not a lot, man. Not a lot. Work.
It's a lot. It's a lot adorable. That's right.
Let's see.
Nice to meet you, Ninja Kitty. Who's DJ?
Hello. How are you?
All right. Good.
I'm fine.
Boy. What mic are you on?
I'm better now that I have the Adore liquid line.
Oh, yeah.
You son of a...
No, aromatherapy.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, aromatherapy.
But I
says aromatherapy.
I asked her for the labels, and I printed them and stick them on the bottles. Now it's better.
What mic are you on?
My mic?
Yeah.
Why? It sounds good?
Well, it sounds good. Are you an audiophile or a...
No, it's a Chinese eBay microphone.
Oh, boy. Are you an actual DJ?
No, it's
man. Yeah.
Those are the initials of my name.
Boy, son. It's dope, though.
Just to get you up to speed, we were talking about ghost apparitions and whether they're actual spirit energy or just residual energy, like if there's an intelligence to them.
I have an infancy story of ghost apparitions.
Well, hold on, before we continue, I'm not trying to debate whether or not that they're intelligent or not. I think that there's a very clear separation between the two. I do believe that there are some that are intelligent, and I do believe most are probably unintelligent imprints left by people, if that makes sense. So those people have moved on. In my opinion, those people have absolutely already moved on to whatever is next, but there's a piece of them that are still left.
Right.
Like I would, if I was in a bad car accident, God forbid, that someone could be driving down that road to this, like right now, to this day, and see it, and then all of a sudden there's nothing there, but I'm still perfectly fine and alive, you know, and that'll continue beyond my death and so on.
That was a question I was going to ask, is whether or not you believe, or just you as a general you, whoever, believes
Yeah.
that when people are seeing this apparition that even is intelligent, is that the person's entire being? Is that their entire spirit? Or is that just a part of their spirit that's for whatever reason left behind? Like, do you think that spirit is trapped here?
I don't think that all of them are trapped. I think for the most I'm Native American and I'm Mexican, and I have a really strong and very, very deep belief in what we're talking about, and a lot of it I go as far to say is that I know for absolute definitive fact. But we call them G-Bys, and I think that a lot of them that are intelligent are non-human. I also believe that a lot of them that are intelligent that are human are not necessarily ones that you want to fuck with, you know, for this, pardon my French. And I also believe that most of what are ghosts are, like I said, you know, residual imprints of people. That other than that, I think that's relatively harmless. What scares me is the ability for a inhuman spirit, a negative spirit, or whatever you can call that, can pretty easily take the form of somebody you know who's passed that you're relatively weak for, if that makes any sense. You know, God forbid your grandma who dies, and then a couple years later you see your grandma sitting on your couch. Generally, I think usually on a pretty grand scale that is not your grandmother, if that makes sense.
I think a residual spirit too is like that guy I was talking about. I think that they don't know they're dead.
So you think that is actually a person? You really think that that's someone's soul?
I wish I could go back there today and film it. I really do.
Oh no,
I
I
really
believe
do.
that you saw that. I totally believe
You
that.
know, no, so you could see what I'm talking about, and then you can make up your own mind.
Oh,
You
I see.
know,
Yeah.
everybody's perception is different. But when you're there and you're looking, and you can see the work clothes, and you can see the guy, you know, and like he's pushing a cart, and you know,
And do you think that to believe or to actually see, you need to have a formed conscious and you need to be an adult? Uh,
I think the opposite. I
okay,
think you're way more
because
prone to it.
I
from
think a
my
spirit
experience,
which
I don't remember, of course, because I was a baby. But my mom tells that when I was a baby, my grandfather, he died when I was 1 year old, or not even 1 year old. And when I was sleeping, um, with my back to the window, okay, not facing the window, I was always sleeping well. And every time during the night, I turned, uh, and I faced the window. I went and I I used to start crying and crying all night long, and that was around 8 to 9 months. And then my mom went to those those women that I don't know how to call in English, if you call witches or mediums. Um, and she told my mom, "Hey, it's normal. It's your father that since he died, he's coming to watch your son every single night."
I believe that.
Okay.
I totally believe that.
And
I mean,
then
that's
the
that's
the
pretty.
the medium or the woman my mom told my mom what she needed to do. My mom did every single step, and then 1 month later, everything calmed down. Yeah, and I started to sleep.
That's pretty cool. What
I don't know.
scares me is why were you is that you said you weren't sleeping, right? Because of
Yeah,
that.
every
Yeah.
time during the night, during the sleep, every time I turned and I was facing the window, um, I didn't sleep anymore that night, and I always cry the entire night.
My question would be, I think that actually goes to lend credence to what I said before. What scares me is that how do you know that not you, but how would one know that that's your grandfather? Um, because I would presume, that your grandpa would give you good warm fuzzy feelings. I'm assuming, unless when he was alive and if he got to see you, he would have made you feel. But if that was your grandfather, wouldn't you, I would expect that he would give you warm fuzzy feelings, not scared feelings where you'd be crying and facing the window. Does that
Maybe
make any
because
sense?
I was a baby and I didn't know what I was seeing.
Yeah, that makes. I mean, that makes sense. I wonder. You should ask your mom how he was with you. Did he get to see you when you were or when he was alive at all when you were a baby?
Yes, yes.
You should ask her how you were around him. If
Oh,
like you calmed down or if you
yeah.
laughed and giggled and stuff.
No, I was very calm down, and my grandfather loved me. So
Yeah.
yeah, but maybe
Pretty
since
cool.
I was a baby and I didn't have any clue of what I was seeing, maybe that's why I was crying all
Well,
the
that
time.
makes sense.
Yeah.
I'll be right back, my ninjas. I gotta grab a water.
All right. Vapor Functional LA. I saw you message me over there. I don't have a message from you, so I'm not sure what's going on. He was supposed to be on as well, but I don't know. There's some kind of issue. As you know, I'm not good with the Google Plus.
What do you need to know about the Google Pluses?
Um, I invited the one guy several times, but I don't know. He's either not getting them or there's something going on.
What's
Invite.
the name?
It's a really long one. Vapor Function LA official.
Vapor Function. Comment real quick. I'll see if I can ninja you in.
Yeah,
Because
he's
I
gonna
nev-
do it.
I didn't get any invite. I just got your link on the chat. I think the invite system is pretty messed up.
I invited you personally at least 3 different times.
There we go. Am I following him on Google Plus? Does he have Google Plus? He has Google Plus. Am I following? No, I'm not following.
I think his YouTube and his Google Plus are separate. I don't.
It looked. No, they're joined.
I gotta say hi to Fluent. I can see them in the chat. I get the chat going in my phone, but I can't type through.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
the
said, what up, Fluent? What up, Fluent?
the major issue with Google Plus is the fact that if you have a personal YouTube channel, the Google Plus account is the same, is a personal account. If you have a secondary YouTube channel, um, an actual channel independent of your personal YouTube channel, you are gonna end up with a second Google account just for your channel. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And if you have more than one channel on the same account, you have more than one Google account. But the Google Hangouts invites should be sent to the personal account because you can only join Google Plus Chat and Google Plus Hangouts with your personal account.
Gotta say hi to Mike. Gotta say hi to Mike and Dirty and Fluent.
Mike's over there. What up, Mike?
Hello.
Mike who?
Fluent Vapors, that's my ninja kitty right there.
Got a lot of Thesis fans over there.
That's Mike.
Fuckers.
Michael.
Yeah, we would have to know your other one, Vapor Function LA, in order to ninja you into this. I'm not sure if you want to put it there.
The personal profile.
Yeah, I think they gotta have a Google Plus account, don't they?
He has 2, that's the problem.
Oh.
A lot of technical difficulties going on here.
What's going on, bro? I hope your son did good.
Alright, I sent it to that Gmail account too, or the email. So.
Yeah, that's how you're gonna have to do it.
Or I could probably do it this way, since he gave me the email address. Maybe.
Oh man, I love this hazy custard at 200 watts.
Hazy custard at 200 watts. What does it taste like?
So delicious.
Gotta put my glasses on. I can't say he was saying hi to me.
Alright, back on topic for now.
All right.
I don't even remember what we're talking about. I guess just ghost versus apparition versus part of a spirit versus a completed spirit.
And Phil just told me to go fuck myself.
Did he?
Yeah. The
Did he
fucking
even
turquoise
say hello?
head. Yeah, can't even say hello. Please, welcome, or anything else like that. Just tells me to go fuck myself. Oh.
And Daniel told his story, so I guess that's actually where we left off. Whether it's actual, what was it, your grandfather?
Yeah.
If it's actually his spirit or something else, because there are speculations that negative energy, and I don't mean this to scare you or whatever, can actually take the form of somebody that you knew to get closer to you or to elicit a certain reaction.
That is true.
Even when
That's
we are
exactly
just
what I was
baby,
trying to say. Thank you for clarifying, Rin.
even when we are just a baby.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm especially kids, because kids are more innocent and they're more vulnerable to stuff like that.
Yeah,
They rather go to a kid first.
They
Hey,
capture
I
all
was
those bad energies.
literally going to say the exact same thing. I couldn't agree more, Raven. I think.
Are you pointing a knife?
Yeah,
I was opening up a
I'm
beer.
out of
My bad. What was I getting at? Oh, the kids are more vulnerable to it, for the simple fact that what better way to get to the parent but then through their child? I could handle that shit. I mean, God willing, that doesn't happen. I don't want anything to do with it. But God forbid my child was going through that shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I can't even imagine the amount of anger and frustration I would have. With that being said, let's grab a burr. Oh yeah, son. Look at that chocolatey darkness, just fucking suds. Suds.
What do you got there? What do you got there, my man?
Oh, this is 1554 New Belgium. Fat tire.
Oh, oh Lord.
It's a black lager. It's like Rin's soul.
It
That's what
is.
I'm drinking.
It's blacker than her lipstick.
That's right. Especially since her lipstick is pinkish red.
Right.
The pinkish red.
Yeah, it's a maroon color, but
Okay.
Are you trying to say it's Maroon 5? Speaking of which,
Witches.
I've got these new Thesis patented fill funnels for new tanks, for top fill tanks. and we can get them. I've started distributing them to doctor offices everywhere, and you can also use them to look inside your ears, and that's the double use of my patented device.
I have so many of those sitting around my apartment.
Oh, dude, I told my doctor, I'm like, hey, bro, after you and me come up with this new mod, we should start fucking marketing these as top fill vape motherfucking things, because I use it for my Triton and for my TFV4. Oh, it works so beautifully, especially when I'm using tips like this that are fucking chodes, thick as fuck, and it doesn't fit in the TFV4 top. So I'm like, Doc, let me get a bunch of those. He's like, all right, here's a bag. I'm like, I appreciate it. I'm like, yes, motherfucker, we are rich. That's basically how the conversation went.
Beautiful.
Yeah, my cat loves to knock those things around the house because they sound funny.
Let me see. They do. Hey, speaking of which, don't you think it's a little ironic that they sound funny and they're specifically designed for your earballs? You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Whoa, it just landed like this. Oh, excuse me. What time is it where you are, Fresh 3?
It is, what time is it? It is 5:42 p.m.
Where the fuck are you?
Seattle.
Ah, yeah.
Oh my god, it finally works. Can you guys hear me?
What up, Ninja?
Yeah.
He made it.
Hello.
Finally.
Hello.
What are you doing?
You are in.
What's up, guys?
Not a lot, man. What you up to? What you doing?
He's gone.
Okay.
Just us.
Hey, Fresh. I'm still waiting for my vapor tongue
Yeah, I
cleaner.
know, I can't believe I made it.
For some what?
My vapor tongue cleaner.
I still haven't had a mix-in night, Raven, to be honest. Maybe I should do that here, right now.
I think he has a delay.
What has a delay?
Vapor functional.
Oh, I have a
Does he?
delay.
Oh no, you don't.
Okay. No.
I'm trying to see like if it's still open on another freaking window.
When you get a chance, introduce yourself. Or not.
Okay, that's going good. Anyways.
All right, it's working well. Working well.
Yeah.
You gotta love Hangouts.
Show's going smooth, Ren.
I know, right? It started off real interesting.
Yeah, it did start. It did start a little interesting.
Yeah, Raven had a sneak peek that.
Yeah, I heard he found your channel on RinHub. RinHub as I'm taken to calling it now.
Yeah.
Rin at rinhub.com.
But that's a whole other show.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway.
So Vapor LA, dude.
It's Vapor Function LA.
Yeah,
I guess.
that's too long. You want to?
Just call me Aaron. My name's Aaron.
Aaron,
Since you guys are YouTubers.
Okay.
There you go.
I'll put it down the bottom so you guys get to know me.
You want to introduce yourself?
What's up?
You want to introduce yourself?
Plug
your channel.
Yeah, my name is Aaron. I have Vapor Function LA as my YouTube channel. I do YouTube reviews, vape reviews. I'm getting just like everybody else, all kinds of stuff in the mail all the time, and just want to share with everybody. And I started out making box mods, the DIY box mods for everybody. I got pretty big, and I've just been trying to move over to YouTube.
Nice.
Very nice. So what did you make? What was your specialty?
I would I would make Hammond 18650 box mods.
Okay.
I'll show you guys. I have a couple of them. I made series, Parallel, a whole bunch of different ones. I was selling them in a whole bunch of different shops around the U.S. for a while, and then just China just blew me out. Everybody knows how that is.
With better prices?
Yeah, there's mods because mine are more authentic, and we want to see.
It's a galley.
China basically like came out with stuff for like $30, and I was selling mine for like 150. This is one of them. It's an old one, but I have a lot more. I'll show you a series.
Yeah, China prices are killing everyone.
Yeah, China's killing authentics. This is another one of my original ones.
That's just the.
You guys are really halftime though. It was like halftime.
And now I'm just making CNC boxes. I'll grab it. Can you give me the box in the kitchen? Oh, I got it.
I'm gonna be real with you guys. I just got some papers from a company in China. They sent me 2 boxes for review. The MSRP on them are $39.95. Can any of you guys guess how much it costs to build and make?
Oh, probably like $1.40.
Yeah.
No, you're half. Exactly half. How much is that?
70 cents?
76 cents is what it costs per unit.
Oh shit!
If you
Really?
don't believe me, I'll show you their words. Watch.
That's quality for you. Most of the boxes are that much.
Oh man.
Like me, it cost me around like $50 to make them. This is another one I made. This is the newest one. I have this all over my Instagram.
Oh, holy shit!
This is a completely full CNC box.
And the MSRP is $39.95.
Raking the dough.
But
yeah, I just got
you need to keep
the. I just got this.
keep in mind that sometimes that's just for customs, so customs don't charge you taxes. Sometimes it happens. They lower the price on the receipt, so your customs don't charge you taxes.
Well, I got it in an email too.
Oh, okay, that's different. Okay.
Yeah, because they sent me 2, and then I also have the printouts. And I told them right away. I'm like, look, it's fine that it costs 76 cents to make per unit. It's an ego style, so it's not fancy. You will let me, like, if you want this to be on my channel, you will let me show this on camera. And they said okay. So I mean, if I was them, I would have been like, no. You know what I mean? But
Yeah. Okay.
as long as they said it's fine.
What's the company that sent you the boxes?
Let me see.
I just received the Sigeli, the Oni edition
Is it sick?
today. I wonder how much this is good. Well, how much it was worth.
Bro, let me see that. Is that lighter blue or Tiffany blue or?
It's kind of like a Tiffany blue. This is from Asmodus.
Yeah.
They make the snow and all that.
That's Mahamadas. I thought it was some Middle Eastern company when I first saw that shit. I'm like, why is Asmodus? Because they're the ones that provide all the packaging to everybody, like to Sigeli, IPV, all these different companies is using their packaging facility or some shit, as far as I understand.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were a mod company though.
Fresh is vaping on an ego.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, it's the ego. It's the sub-ohm pen.
Oh, okay.
Who makes that?
Huh?
Who makes that?
E-Cigator?
Oh, E-Cigator?
No, E-Cigator. Like
dude, I just got those too, I think.
Yeah, the sub-ohm pens.
Is it this one?
That's it.
Yeah, I got a few of those. Is it
Me
good?
too. It's not bad. It's surprisingly good.
Yeah, that's how I felt about these guys. The X-Links, I was like blown the fuck away. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, it feels a little light and flimsy in the hand, but the vape's good.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited to try it. I gotta do the unboxing for it.
I hate the X-Links, but I think I got the first prototypes. I don't know.
Hey, how do I link the live stream to my channel?
to your channel?
You have to wait till the show's over, and then you download it and post it yourself.
Okay.
You can share it with your circles. You can do that. That's what I do. I share that Rin's doing live stuff or that I'm doing live stuff.
Okay, that's probably what I'm gonna do too.
Hey, can you see the chat in the replay?
No.
No.
Okay.
No, otherwise people wouldn't say the things over in the chat that they do.
I was gonna say I just said squatch crotch, so
I've said way worse.
How much are those pens?
I've said worse in my own videos. I went back and watched my videos, and I was like, "Fuck, I got a potty mouth." Like, I was offended by me.
Yeah. I've had a couple couple live shows where I was like, you know, I'm not sure how to feel about that one. That went in completely the wrong direction from what the plan was. Generally, it involves Mark Fagan, letting him on your show.
Who's carrying those pens? You guys know?
Right now, just the company. They're what, like $40? I think is what they want the MSRP to be. I'm gonna email them back about that. Be like, I don't know selling it at $40. I really don't know about that, but I mean, if it was like a $25 vape pen that was sub-ohm vape pen, it'd be spot on.
Yeah, because that would look something like great. You know, you'd like to go to the store with, or
Exactly.
you know, an appointment or something. You know?
Exactly. It's just it's like a 2 mil tank. Like it would take me 3 or 4 minutes to vape through the tank and I wouldn't even be putting my mind to it.
I wonder why they're bringing those vape pens back. It's like so nostalgic.
It is.
I remember back in the day when the ego pins, those things were like almost $80, like 4 years ago.
Check this. I was gonna say, bro. I remember when I first started. My first Cigalite in 2010 was $25 for a disposable, and then I paid almost $100 for my blue e-cig kit in 2011-ish. And then when I fucking got my first ego, I spent like an arm and a leg, and I was like, shit. At that point, when I think back now, what you can get for $80, dude, you can get an amazing vape for $80, including liquid, a fucking tank, a pack of coils, and a mod.
Yeah, and back in the day, we all used to think that we were ballers having those ego twists.
Yeah.
Dude, I had like 4 colors and a necklace for mine.
Yeah, same here. I remember mine. It came with like a little lanyard thing, and walk around with it thinking you're all bad. Those were the days.
Yeah, a lot of, back when those, the Cigalites first came out, oh man, it's cutting edge, and around here they got really popular because we were one of the first places to do the smoking ban. So, everybody's like, yeah, I can do these in the bar. And so they got super popular.
Same here. You guys, have you heard of it was the second e-liquid company in the United States ever of all time was Vermilion River. That's less than 2 or 3 miles that way from my house. It's who the fuck was the first liquid company was Creek something fuck not Johnson's Creek something Creek in Wisconsin when they moved to Wisconsin. I think Minnesota was the first to do the smoke ban, and that was when the Cigalites happened. As far as
I remember there was like this cube one, and then Pink Spot was around, and then Virgin Vapor was around back then with like the nasty juices.
2008 was Vermilion River, by the way. That's what I had to think of that. I was still in high school.
Back then, they only had just single flavor e-liquids, and you had to basically mix them yourself. And they were like in those little 5 ml bottles, and those were like $10 back then.
I think we got sidetracked.
We
get sidetracked. Yeah.
You let me wander in a room. Rin's not here running the show.
Started paranormal, and we went right to vaping.
Well, I mean, what do we want to talk about now? Phil Vapes wants us to hypothesize on how aliens reproduce.
Well, since we're here talking about like ghosts and stuff, maybe we should like share some ghost stories. You guys have any?
Yeah, there you go.
DJ just shared. Thesis, you shared. Rin has shared several times. Raven shared. I'm a skeptic. I'm the skeptic on the show.
Oh, hey, me too. I haven't shared any personal stories, and I probably won't for a little while anyway.
Yeah, like I've shared about like sleep paralysis and things like that. I've experienced that and still do fairly frequently. And it's freaky, but I know what sets my brain off and what causes it. So, you know, it's one of those things for me. It's like I can rationalize it. I know what's causing it.
That's my issue. What you just said is my issue. I tend to disassemble. I'm an engineer by trade.
Yeah.
So I tend to disassemble things mentally. I can break something. I can see a ghost about 5 feet from my face. And in 24 hours, I've already disassembled that whole thing to where I've convinced myself that didn't actually happen. And that's one of my biggest issues. First, like on a peaceful psychological level.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. I work in the medical field, so I'm the same way. I dissect things down until it makes sense to me.
Yep. And this is, I hope you do. That's an actual psychological. That's an issue that people like us tend to have. People like us have ego issues. People like us have does that make sense?
Usually I don't imagine. I just disassemble everything.
Say that again?
What's everybody think about alien life?
I was gonna say someone's got a lot going on in their plate.
Yeah, they got about alien.
Hey, so
what the fuck is that?
Oh.
Okay, it was vapor. It was vapor function. Sorry. That's what was going on, Aaron. Okay.
Someone's asking me to mute the halftime show.
Mute the halftime show. But Missy Elliott's going to be on. Missy Elliott's going to be on Raven.
No, somebody asked me in chat
I was gonna say,
to mute it.
I'd stay tuned for Missy Elliott, but that's me.
Hey, me too. That's all right. You just let me spin a track tonight.
Do it.
Spin a track?
I'll spin a track tonight. Yeah.
Dirty.
Well, I think there's.
If you post my SoundCloud link, I'll spin a track. Is that a good trade?
Rin, is that? She says yes.
How do I send you that fucking message? Let me see.
It's in the chat. Up on the right-hand side, it's the top thing. It should say it should be two text box overlapping. The top one's blue.
Ah, yeah, that a boy. It's on the left-hand side. You're dyslexic like me.
Yeah, Dirty's right.
What's Dirty saying?
And the more you learn, the more you realize you don't know shit.
Absolutely.
About aliens, about, we cannot be the only life out of all these galaxies.
I firmly believe that.
Let me propose something, though. You're probably right. Actually, I think you're absolutely right. But with time, with scientifically on a physiological level, we know and understand that time doesn't actually exist. We just see, human manifestations of time, i.e., clocks and aging and whatnot. But with that being said, if time doesn't exist, a byproduct of time is that future, past, and present exists and coincides constantly, always. So what's to say that UFOs aren't just future humans?
Yeah.
Or governmental experiment crafts. I mean, period, plain and simple. I've seen two, and two of them were in broad fucking daylight. That was recently. I had a hard time even believing that shit was real until I saw the shit in fucking broad daylight in public on a highway. And ever since, that was a couple months ago, and since that day, it scared the shit out of me. Me and the dude next to me looked at each other like, what the fuck was that? My dick just shriveled up because I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
That's how scared I was.
Yeah, that's the same way I am. 99 out of 100 things I can explain. It's that shit that I can't explain. That right there catches my attention. I'm like, okay, that I want to know. I want to know more about that.
Bro, you know the Planters Peanuts, dude, the logo?
Yeah.
That's me. This is a highway and a city, Lakeville, Minnesota. Look it up. That is just fucking packed full of people on Highway 46, just both lanes. And me and this dude in the red Honda, I'm looking, and I'm just like, that is the strangest fucking plane or blimp I have ever seen in my life. It was like the Peanuts, like, you know, like a peanut. Center was thin and then two balls on the outside. It looked like Ben Wall balls for vaginas, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm just saying, it's true shit. So and this thing is fucking like, I'm Mexican, so I love chrome, and this shit was chrome. I was like, I want that on my rims. And this shit, it was sick. And I'm looking at it, and all of a sudden my heart sank because I realized it wasn't a blimp. When it did this shit, it went round. This fucking peered out, and there's not a cloud. There's no smog in Minnesota. We have beautiful, clear skies. It was no clouds. Disappeared. Came back, like, I guess from where I'm driving, looking forward, 40 degrees, 50 degrees, which is a lot. That's a lot. Instantaneously like this. Boom. Gone. Boom. Back. 40, 50 degrees over here. I look over to the dude next to me, and he's staring up like this. Not looking at the road, me or him. No one's fucking paying attention to what they're driving with. They're looking at you're driving this 4,000-pound machine that can kill people, and you're staring at the sky. And all of a sudden, this thing goes whoop, whoop. And I was like, fuck that, I'm going to find a bunker. Give me a bulldozer and some fucking sleeping pills. That's
That
what
I believe.
I was like, the world is about to end.
Oh, boy.
I believe on that.
Hey, can you soda?
What?
Later, Phil.
Where'd Phil go?
He's taking off to go get ready for his show.
I want to go on your show.
I think Phil's proof that there's
Alien life on this planet?
life. Yeah. I think Phil's not of this world.
If you ask a redneck Republican, they'll tell you there's tons of aliens.
Yeah. There are lots of reports of that, and I believe we are not alone on this universe.
No.
I think it's an impossibility. The thing I think about it is I don't think life that's out there is what we think it is. I think it's something else. Because the circumstance, I said it before, probably on your first show, Rin. The circumstances that led to all of us being sitting here vaping and all that bullshit, the chances of that happening somewhere else exactly the same way, it's next to impossible. And just the slight changes that would lead to another humanoid race out there somewhere, it's next to impossible, you know. But, you know, beings made of light, things like that, absolutely, you know, things we can't even fathom.
Look to the Egyptians. They have engravings of aliens making them building their pyramids. So,
Yeah.
Just look at our own oceans. They're so deep and there's so much not explored. And when we finally got to go, you know, deeper and deeper, where we would think, nah, there's no life down there and nothing can live. There's all these weird kind of fish.
Yeah, very
Fish
weird.
that light up and everything else, you know?
Yeah.
Let me go back to what Fresh said real quick. He said that what are the chances that would lead up to that? I wanna just address that really quick. Excuse me. What are the chances that we would lead up to where we are? Excuse me.
Absolutely.
On a scientific base, on a technical level, it's theoretically impossible. I mean,
Exactly.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
With that being said, can something become so statistically impossible that it becomes likely? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And on a scientific level, that's true. If you look at statisticians who do the percentages of where a ball will land, given the randomness of wind, for example, just a super simple way to put it. If you throw a ball, it's impossible to know exactly where that's going to land. But if you throw it enough times and you have a 5-foot diameter guess or approximation, you will know where it's going to land eventually.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? If you have the right circumstances. So, I mean,
Absolutely.
science has proven that there are essentially countless Earth-like planets. With that being said, I completely agree that there are probably lobster-like, and I mean intelligent, like beings that look like fucking lobsters would probably be a better idea of what aliens look like. Not like us. And if you want to go on a religious level, for anyone in here who's like a hardcore Christian or anything like that, it says biblically that we are created in God's likeness. So if God only created Earth, which of course to me seems really unlikely too, that we would be the only ones that are quote unquote humanoid. The rest of them, some of them probably have 26 legs and 37 titties and 96 dicks. You know what I'm saying? They look
I don't believe
nothing
that.
like us.
Whoa. That'd be interesting.
Right.
I was gonna say, Dirty DeVoe would have a hell of a time. Just jacking everywhere.
That'd bring a whole
Jacking
new meaning.
everywhere.
That'd bring a whole new meaning to slow dancing.
That's right. Dr. Zoidberg lives, Sean K. You're right. That's right.
does.
Now you've all got Zoidberg.
There are people that believe that aliens created us.
That's not. It's not impossible.
Look at the technical terms though. Jesus, for example, was non-terrestrial. So on a strictly definition basis, he was what? A terrestrial alien, extraterrestrial alien, because he's not terrestrial. So even if you're Christian or if you're religious, or someone who subscribes to the idea of Jesus or God or some type of religion, that is by definition what it is.
Yeah. And I mean that's a lot of my spiritual beliefs is there's something out there that I can't explain that caused all of this.
Absolutely. Statistically, it's impossible for us to be what we are.
Exactly. And I've been through some pretty gnarly stuff, and there were times when I was unsure about what was going to go on, and there was something out there that said, "Hey, things are going to be okay. Just stick with it." Told me that. I was like, "Okay." So, am I unmuted? I don't know. Can you talk?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, man.
Okay.
Much
I'm
better.
just scared that my feed isn't really horrible.
Much better.
I'm outside all majestic now.
You are. You have a halo. Are you the higher power we've been looking for, Vapor Function LA?
What's up?
I said, are you the higher power we've been looking for, Vapor Function LA?
Maybe.
But I still don't believe in the Bible history of God creating us as we are. I believe on the evolution of species.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I agree with that. But the evolution of species, in my opinion, was implemented by some higher power. Whether it's an old dude with a beard and a staff, I don't necessarily think, but some type of energy force.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very believable like that.
Well,
Yeah, because I mean, I think a lot of us have had that spiritual crisis where you go and you start looking into like the origins of the Bible and things like that, and you're like, okay, well, the Third Conference of Constantine, a bunch of stuffy Romans got together and put the Bible together out of what they thought fit best, and then they started adapting in a bunch of heathen religions so that they could walk all over the top of people and it wouldn't be so bad.
Christmas.
You know?
Christmas is a pagan holiday that was literally made to compete with the pagan holiday. However, the birth of Christ was sometime in spring. Was April, I think. And I'm not referring to Easter. I'm referring to the actual birth.
Yeah.
So it was implemented by.
Well, I can agree with what Naz says because I am pagan, so
Exactly.
I can agree with that. I got a different outlook on spirituality and the spirits and the evolution of life.
But the pagan pagan views or the pagan theistic ideology is more similar to Christianity than you would lend yourself to believe.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, people think that
paganism outdates Christianity.
Not the definition of paganism, but the actual practice. Yeah, absolutely right.
Yeah, I mean, like there's if you go through like Norse mythology and a lot of like Norse mythology, Germanic mythology, things like that, you run into a ton of similarities, you know, because these are the people that the guys that put the Bible together were having trouble running over the top of. And so, like I said, they put a lot together that made it more palatable. And it's fairly amazing to see what they pulled off. And you know, that did lead me to a lot of the questioning of faith that I had throughout my life. You know, it took some pretty, like I said, some pretty gnarly circumstances for me to jump back on the, well, maybe there is something out there train, because for years I just skepticed my way through life and you know, just you know, dissecting everything down to my own. Uh-oh, we're all getting calls from Phil.
Yeah. Hey, with what you just said, let me just ask you a question real quick, Fresh.
Sure.
When you say skeptic yourself through life, how lonely did that feel? Be honest.
I was a very, very, very lonely person for a long, long time.
Yeah.
You know, it seemed like, for, you know, I was in the Army, and when things could go bad, they went bad. Like every single chance, it seemed like. And you know, it felt a lot like being alone in the world, a lot of days.
That skeptical mindset.
Yeah, I'm the only real thing in eyesight. What's really out there, type thing.
Yeah, and that's I can relate. I've never been without faith, if that makes sense. I've never been without that idea, and I've had proof since I was a child that there is existence of a creator, but that doesn't mean that I haven't been extremely skeptical of even my own beliefs, but even of why I believe certain things, until you start to see proof of it, and you're like, and that's when I got scared, and I was like, I don't know if I want to have these experiences. I believe that's enough for me. I started to really see some shit that fucked with my head on a psychological level. When you start to see, when you're there's no explanation in any way, shape, or form for something you saw 5 feet in front of you, or you heard as loud and clear as someone talking to you, and there's nobody around. That is some shit that will fuck with you. Or when you're with 2 or 3 people, and all 3 of you seen something that's in pot that science says cannot happen, but yet, well, there it is. How do you argue? I mean, how can you possibly argue with it?
Exactly, and you sit there and you ask yourself, how do I explain this to myself? And you know, a lot of times I can, but sometimes when I run across it and I can't, I'm like, okay, well, there's proof that there's something out there that I sure as hell can't explain.
And there's that famous quote that 99 things can have, or 100 out of 100 things, you might have 100 situations, paranormal situations, or UFO situations. You can explain 99 of them, but all you need is one. You just need
exactly.
One.
Exactly. Apparently, Vikings were pagan.
What?
Pagan. I didn't know we had a pagan religion.
Yeah, they're the ones that use the barbarian cream.
The barbarian cream. I was gonna make a split pea soup joke, but I'll just go with the barbarian cream.
The thing about evolution is, if you watch certain documentaries, and of course it's all speculative, but supposedly at the rate that we as humans evolved was impossible. Like, we evolved too quickly.
We did.
A distinctive gap between what we supposedly evolved from and what we actually are. There's like that missing link thing, which they've never found, as far as I know.
Yeah,
Okay.
we are still evolving so quickly. Look to our sons; they pretty much born than us and more perfect, and on some ways, and on other ways no. But yeah.
Okay, just hear me out. Okay, my belief about the Bible is this: I believe there was a man named Christ, but he was a philosophy. Okay, and everybody knows You can tell one person, and they'll tell another, then they'll tell. By the time it gets to the 20th person, the story probably changes. There is some truth, but the story will change. You know, I saw someone saying that Christ had water and stuff like that. Where he walked, that's day. And nothing thinks that the deacon and so is talking. They've proven these things. But I do believe that there was a man named Christ, but he was a philosopher, and stories just got told, you know, and they changed throughout the years.
I guess I don't want to talk about personal belief on Christ, but I will say that I see where you're coming from. I understand, but what do you base that belief in?
I mean, we've got fairly good historical proof that a lot of the biblical figures existed. We have multiple historical sources saying, yeah, these guys were walking around during this time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, are they what we're told? You know, or did they just have some really good ideas and those happen to flourish? You know,
Yeah.
that's kind of where I'm at with the Bible. You know, there's some really good ideas in the Bible, and there's some backwards ass shit.
Well, there is a thing, and it's written proof that when King James had the Bible translated, he locked some monks in a room and deprived them of food and sleep. So you deprive yourself of food and sleep, and not everything's going to seem clear.
What's your source of that? I want to know whoever told you that had to have had something against theology in general or Christian theology in general.
A matter of fact, they didn't have anything against it. It was told to me, believe it or not, by a priest.
Really?
Catholic. Who has books of my religion in his library.
He's a Catholic priest, and he believed that the Bible was written by people who were hallucinating from lack of sleep.
Yeah, that's what King James did, because he wanted the translation done quickly, and that's how he forced them to do it. That was the story.
Can I just say something really quick? Your accent's pretty. Are you from fucking park the car in the Harvard lot, kind of Boston kind of type shit? That's fucking raw. Second of all,
I'm from Rhode Island.
same thing to me in Minnesota. So the East Coast is the East Coast is the East Coast. But
Trust me, man. A Boston accent's a lot different than my accent.
I know people from New Jersey, and if you say anything about Boston, they get super fucking pissed off, which is the weirdest thing. I get pissed off with someone from Wisconsin.
You can say anything you want about Boston. Go ahead.
Right. Well, I have family in New Jersey, and one of them's upstairs. And if I said, "Well, you sound like," she's like, "Why do you say Carter? You sound like you're from Boston." She's like, "Don't fucking say that." From South Jersey. I go, "Oh, okay, same fucking thing. Y'all are ghetto." What were we talking about, bro?
I have no idea. I'm gone. If a conversation leaves for like 5 seconds, it's gone to me, man.
We were talking about evolution and God and where we think we came from.
Yeah, in Barbarian Cream.
Yeah.
Barbarian Cream, that's where we came from.
So hold on. Let me ask this then. When we say, or when you say where we came from, when you say we, do you mean humans, physical, tangible humans with nipples and balls and shit? Or are you talking about our souls, or are you talking about our spirit?
Biological.
See, to me, even that is interesting, but at the same time, it's pretty irrelevant. When you talk about spiritual stuff, souls, your soul is infinite, meaning infinite. Whereas biologically, I mean, even that's semi-irrelevant, I would argue. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So as are our bodies more or less a vessel to learn from, regardless of the evolution? The evolution is completely secondary. The biological part of our being is secondary. But is it just being used for our souls, so to speak, to learn? Because in 1,000 years, if we are quote unquote recycled, I don't like using reincarnated, but whatever, reincarnated, recycled, however, we're still just using this body as a vessel to learn.
I think the body is an illusion.
I mean, I tend to agree with Dirty. I came from my mom's vagina.
Right. But eventually, you have to find one vagina that it came from, that we all came from, which is fucked up. That means y'all are my brothers. Even you, Rin. That's fucked up.
That's right.
You know,
my brother Rin.
nothing.
What's fucked up?
Nothing's actually for sure. And there was a philosopher that said that you can't prove actual anything. Like he had a thing like, can you prove that you're not sleeping and you're awake?
Yeah, I agree with that. You can't even prove that this hat I'm wearing exists. You see it on the screen, but do you actually know that it exists? Absolutely not.
That's right. Can you prove the person you're looking at actually looks the way that they look? You know, that was his thing. You can't prove these things.
When you look in a mirror, you perceive yourself as something completely different than others perceive you.
I don't want to look in the mirror when I don't want to see me.
You're sexy. Ow! That's considered as a straight man. But no, I agree. I mean, pure, plain and simple. Scientists, skeptics, everybody believe. A lot of people believe that the physical plane is the end-all, be-all. I think that is absolute crock of shit. I mean, 90% of space, scientifically, it says that 90% of space is dark matter that we just can't see. Okay, then explain spirituality. You just can't do it. You're a bunch of pussies. You know what I'm saying? Stick a dildo on your ass. No. Fucking try to tell me that.
Yeah, I mean, there's, you know, you run into like so many atheists running around, and you start getting into like a spiritual discussion, and they start trying to break it down, but eventually you get to a point where you can't break it down, and that's, you know, for a lot of my life, that's the point I got to. It's like, I can't break this down anymore.
Yeah.
And you know, and then you have something happen to you, and you're like, okay, all right, I'm on board. There's something watching out for me.
Consciously.
Maybe not me all the time, but.
I want to know. I want to know DJs and what was Vapor Function LaLa, not LA. I'm gonna call him La.
La. We're calling him LaLa from now on.
Yes,
What's
LaLa.
up,
LaLa?
Yeah. Do you guys have any thoughts on what me and Thesis have been spracking on about? Is he muted?
Not to my.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Vapor Function.
So he just doesn't give a fuck. That's what he's gonna say.
Yeah.
He's muting himself.
Yeah.
There you go.
A little bit.
Super headset.
There we go.
So what I'm thinking is that everybody basically comes from, I guess, the same. Well, everybody believes in the same God, but everybody calls it their own thing, what they believe in.
Yes, you win.
That's what I'm thinking. And everybody has their own beliefs, but it's all basically the same person. But then when you ask yourself, like, who the hell is it? If you really look deeply into it, like, what I think, just like what everybody else is saying, like, are we really from aliens or something? Because where did it come from in the beginning?
Exactly. Where did the aliens come from?
Where do insects and bugs and animals and human beings and everybody? Like, where does everything come from? We don't just all of a sudden grow out of nothing, like basically out of nothing, out of like germs.
But that's the thing, is the germs didn't exist. I mean, on a scientific level, they say, and by they I mean scientists, and by scientists I mean anti-theological scientists, say that even germs and microbes and one-cell organisms, amoebas, didn't even exist. That we literally came from one-celled organisms. Bull fucking shit! You can suck my dick on a fucking prairie on your knees, son. What? No.
But if germs didn't exist supposedly, like, or when they became existent, where did they come from?
That's what I'm saying.
And I've got no problem believing that we came from, you know, one-cell organisms and evolved out from there. You know, these things that, you know, even back then, you know, it still had to have some sort of a perception on what things were.
Exactly.
There could be, you know, explanations that way. Maybe the Garden of Eden is so microscopic that we have no way of seeing it. How do we know?
And talking about the dead as well too, like, since there's been billions and billions of years of planet Earth, like, you know how dinosaurs have died. How come there's not ghosts of dinosaurs and stuff like that?
Whoa. There
Like,
is.
That'd be some scary shit.
Hey, I'll tell you what's some scary shit. You ever go to jail?
No.
When a 7'6" motherfucking dude walks up, he's like, "What up, native?" And you're scared. You're like, "Ah!" You know what I'm saying? Because you could be 6'5", but that dude's way bigger than you. I'm just saying. I got a whole song.
And
Well, I stand over a lot of people.
Hey, you ain't standing over me, son. I'm 7'4". I made that up. I totally made it up.
So you got like 2 feet on me, man.
I apologize, LaLa. That's where we all came from, was banjos and hillbillies with 3 teeth. I believe that, but I'm telling you. What's got 32 teeth? Front row of a Garth Brooks concert. Just saying.
Yeah.
so, what do you think about the God's particle, or the particle that was found, or the antimatter particle that was found, and scientists are saying we all come from that particle?
Okay, so the God particle was named. The God. Do you know who named that? TJ?
I don't know who named that. I know where.
Go ahead.
I know that it was found on particles, some sort of accelerator on France.
Yes. Where are you from?
Portugal.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Sorry for my English.
Why are you? No, don't be sorry. I was just wondering. I thought you were France. Speaking of Michel, he's about to fall asleep. But no, the answer is no. What were we getting at? Oh, the God particle was named, as far as I understand. So don't quote me on this, but was named by an atheistic scientist who's basically made his whole life goal to disprove God. And the reason he named it that was because he said that those particles were essentially a portion of the Big Bang, the actual Big Bang. And whether or not that's the case has nothing, in my opinion, has nothing to do with it being the quote-unquote God particle. It's named that because he believes, and they believe, that that's where we have come from, literally the Big Bang. Whether or not that's true, again, I think is irrelevant because that's a part of the physical plane. The physical plane, again, is non-permanent. The physical plane is temporary, whereas the spiritual is permanent. Dr. Michio Kaku has but has proven mathematically the 11 dimensions. And the 11th dimension mathematically proves that there is a mirror dimension for every other dimension, which of course in turn makes dimensions infinite. So if there's 11, that means that there's 22 provable, and then once there's 22 provable, when you add in the variable of it being a mirror dimension, it's infinite. It's infinite, literally. So that means that there are...
All right, guys, I gotta go. It's that time.
No.
Bye, Raven.
Peace, guys.
Peace.
Raven, be good, Raven.
Guys, and for everybody else, go fuck yourself.
Gotta love Raven.
Yeah, that Kaku guy is very interesting.
Yes, Dr. Michio Kaku in 2006, 5 with string theory. When I first started to read his stuff, it's Einstein called it reading the mind of God, and this theory went on to explain the mirror dimensions, and the mirror dimensions have proven in theoretical physics that there are quote-unquote big bangs happening on a continual basis. So our Big Bang was one of countless Big Bangs, if you want to call it a Big Bang. So it's like a cauldron of boiling oil or bubble, just never-ending bubbles.
Yeah, like a chain reaction. Yeah.
Exactly. Portugal's dope, man. Let me go there. Is that by Spain?
You should see where he lives. You should see he's on this little island in the middle of nowhere, man. In the middle of nowhere.
I got guns and shit though. You got guns and shit there?
No, not much.
Yes,
no guns.
I've got AK-47s, I got AR-15s, I got a whole lot. Let's go. Can we go to Portugal with that stuff or no?
No.
Really?
DJ'd have to intercept you at the border.
Yeah.
How do you know?
I will make sure of that.
So where's everybody from?
Seattle.
Seattle.
West Side?
Hold on. There. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm out in Cali, so.
Yeah, Cali.
Still early.
Yeah, it is.
What time is it?
6.
Momo.
It's Momo time. That's what time it is. It's time for Rin's pussy to get completely out of control.
Yeah, she's a wild one.
It's 6:33 p.m. So we got 27 minutes before Phil starts.
Yeah, he made that abundantly clear.
Did he?
Hey, sorry, I'm eating some ice cream. Okay.
Isn't it like 4 in the morning there, DJ?
2 a.m.
2 in the morning?
Do you even sleep, bro?
No, not much. I have time to sleep when I die.
You want to braid my goatee, Mike? Who's Phil?
When you go to the freestyle, bro.
All right, I'm gonna kill that shit. You can't say bro. You can't do that.
You just
No.
you called her bra a couple minutes ago.
No, I said brother in a jokingly way, talking about the vaginal discharge of us. We are the vaginal discharge of a single vagina.
That's right, brother Rin.
What do you want me to call you?
That must be one loose ass vagina.
Anything except for bro. You can
The world.
Homie?
That's
no,
right.
no. You can't do that.
I'm from Cleveland, okay?
I was gonna say you don't know how street Rin is, man.
Hey,
Mean Street
as-
Cleveland.
I'm as street as motherfucking tarmac, and girls cannot be saying those things. That's just not.
How do you know I'm a girl?
Oh shit.
Hey, Thesis, I've got some of Rin's dick pics if you want me to share them.
Pixar didn't happen.
It did. I've got the pics. It happened.
No, you just send me wiener shots of yourself and then masturbate to me thinking about it. Gross.
Listen, anything that fuels the fire. All right, Thesis.
Is fire the nickname for your dick? Gross.
That's absolutely right. That's absolutely right. That's what I call it.
Then you can call me the ice. You gotta fight fire with ice. You know that.
We're gonna melt this motherfucker in a minute. Fire. Come on.
You're gonna melt it. You're gonna melt it.
That's
I
right.
suppose it gets wet after.
It's getting all steamy in my place.
Please.
That's not vapor. It's a sauna. That was goofy. How do you know I'm a girl? She said. Yeah. I kept thinking that was lipstick on your. I was gonna say on your dick pic. on your YouTube pic, and it's not. That's a mod. Just so everybody's aware. Because I wasn't aware of that. I'm like, why is she putting on lipstick in a fucking vape channel? But it's not. It was me being silly. Rin, hey, look at my eyeballs. I bowed down. Look at my eyeball. I apologize. Am I being a little bit too Thesis-like?
You're good.
Oh, are you mad?
No.
Oh,
If I was mad, you would know.
oh, don't say that. That's scary.
Bro, dude, homie. Anyway.
Let me get those glasses though.
eBay. It's like $1.25.
What's that bow tie?
It's a Hello Kitty.
That shit goes super hard.
I don't know. People seem to like it.
Fuck people, whether or not you like it.
Yeah, I like it, but I'm not gonna wear it if people don't like it.
That's fucked up. I wear shit just to piss people off. I'm Mexican. I'll throw a Confederate flag if it makes someone angry. And then I go to a KKK rally with a Mexican flag. They get super pissed off. You should see them. I took our jobs. And I'm like, that's right. That's right. I stole your lawnmower and everything. And then it pisses them off even more. And I'm like, you see that trailer? My house is bigger than that, and it's built on your lawnmower. Ah, damn. And I hired white dudes to build it for me. Which would be funny, but it's the truth. Bro, dude, I used to fuck with people, like, especially growing up in the country with a name like Ignacio or a name like Briseño. People used to just say some heinous-ass shit. They used to tell me, so me and my brother would be on the bus, right? And these fucking, I was going to say these white kids, but of course they were. We were the only people of color in the whole fucking school. And my dog would come out the house and they would yell to the bus driver, hit the nigger's dog, hit the nigger's dog. Dude, that shit like fucking killed. And then to top it off, like I've got half black nephews, I've got half black cousins and shit, and then I had that even went to the school with us. Dude, that shit was so heinous. So at the end of the day, I had to learn to laugh at it. You know what I mean? Because first of all, I whip their ass. Second of all, I win. Ready or not? I'm gonna spit this. No?
I like
I'll just sit
Mexican.
back.
I like Mexican because being Portuguese, I understand very well.
See, you get it. Brazil is basically all Portugal people, man.
Yeah.
It's not Portuguese people. They just speak Portuguese. Which
No,
is
they
mine.
speak Portuguese, but they speak a really weird Portuguese dialect.
Mexicans speak a really weird Spanish dialect. I totally can relate. When I heard the first Spaniard in my life speak Spanish, I was like, that's not Spanish. What is that? You know what I mean? No.
Yeah.
Do I just sound like a dick? I don't mean to be. Rin, stop laughing. Why are you laughing like that?
I'm waiting for you to spit that shit.
Oh, my bad. What was I supposed to spit?
I don't know. I think you're gonna freestyle.
Oh, is the beat too loud or loud enough for what? Pardon, what did you say?
I said it's good.
Yeah, it sounded good to me, man.
Bass sounds good to me. Pixar didn't happen. So this, I'll spit the beginning of this verse, just for the simple fact that I recently went back to this track, and this is not a freestyle. Understand? This track is going to be entitled "I Hate Rappers," and I have another track that is going to go on a different mixtape. It's called "I Hate Vapors," and it's quite, well, not it's quite the contrary. I do hate rappers, but I hate fake rappers, and I cannot stand 16-year-olds standing outside their bus stop with a vape pen and they're trying to blow clouds, buddy. You know what I'm saying? All that shit just fucking angers me. So that song is going to be about, you say you blowing clouds, but you vaping on an ego. I bet you handle balls more than Dolphin Dan Marino. It goes like that.
I like
so
it.
It's not about vapors. It's about 16-year-old vapors. So I should put I hate underage vapors. Whatever, same thing. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Okay. Pair of faded jeans, like a strike in the lighter. Play faded white tee, straight from the dryer. Work full sound, stay cold to a minor. Cat to the back, no high-end designer. And no gangster, just love rap music. When I write, I find I rather therapeutic. That's how I use it. No, don't abuse it. These rappers on the mic like a dick, they glue it. Let's play the word game. Get what I'm expressing. These broke-ass rappers can't afford to pay attention. Bet that I can put you in the word within the sentence. Let me dumb it down to your level of comprehension. Y'all come and go so quick like magic. Emerge out of nowhere like money in a hat trick. Abracadabra, had to make you vanish. Just one hot track running out like a matchstick. And so on and so forth. Well, the trust.
Nice.
That's right.
That's
right.
My nip note.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
It's pretty bad.
I'll use some sounds of the Hangouts, but they are disabled.
What?
I was gonna use some effects of Google Hangouts, but they are disabled.
Oh, sad. You disabled them. That's Rin.
Rin disabled the effect? What?
I don't know what I'm doing. We should know this by now. There you go.
It says I got him. It says I got him.
I don't know.
Dot.
Or maybe we don't have the sound effect. We don't have the soundboard. Dang it.
Why can I not send URLs?
Yeah. Mike Vape's freestyle career is over. It's all right, Mike.
Singer.
Singer's here. What up, Singer?
The Cookie Monster himself.
That's right.
I'm gonna mute myself for a second.
Okay.
You're
What's up,
adorable.
Singer?
All you are is so cute.
I liked it though, and I don't even really care for. I don't know if you call it rap or whatever, but
Rin shot us down. That's right, she did.
I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, like ask Raven earlier if I know what I'm doing. I don't.
I see this Q&A thing. I wonder what that is.
All right, I got another one. You ready?
Oh.
I'm gonna fast forward the shit. Many yak, many tracks, I'm in the soda. Put it away, get the band in the middle of my when I fight when I'm close up. Hit it with a drop like a storm in the middle of the rock, I flip like boulders. I told ya, I throw right now, spit it back up like holsters. Right, bitch, talking shit. Not really 9 times I spit. Any given moment I'm a little like dick. You touch my dick with a hollow stick. I'm in the motherfucking talking to like a damn it rapper on YouTube. I'm in the head in the matter of quickness, yeah, that means soon, soon. I need to win the ring that's wrapped around my fucking feet because only thing weird is the dude with the same spaces through the soaking blood. And so on and so forth. I fucked that shit up though.
Nice.
Try shit again.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Nice.
Who's there in the state with my instead? I got no grip for all of this rim shit. Must have been a deal with. Better get a do shit. Better be ready when y'all coming to kick this. Okay, let's head to snatch.
So what they call rapping Tourette's.
That's essentially what I have. I just can't help it.
He just randomly turns it on, goes, and stops. He's like, nope, that's it. Just had to
Man,
get.
we need to get Thesis and Dirty in the same room.
I know, right? That would be like epic.
Who's dirty?
Dirty DeVoe. He's a regular on my show. He's a good friend of all of ours. He's one of those guys. He'll just all of a sudden just break something out, and it's generally glorious.
Those.
You explained my life. Me and Dirty are best friends now.
I think you guys would be.
Just get into G-Spot.
We all become homies. Can we just hug?
Did we all just become friends? What?
Yes. You vape? Yes. Me too. We're best friends.
Girl.
You want to go to the garage and do kung fu?
Totally. You want to go blow clouds? He's a clown.
Right. Let's go blow some clouds.
Yeah, buddy. Dude, I hate the fucking word, buddy. Oh,
Do you even know G-Spot?
I know G-Spot. That's my ninja kitty right there.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. No,
He's
Vaporium G-Spot. Because
What?
Dirty is there with us.
Yeah, there's a basically like a 24/7 version of this running over there on a website called myvaporium.net, and most of us frequent it. You just go in, talk vaping with folks, you know, try some shit out on them, get advice on builds, shit like that. It's a good time.
Let's go.
Reviewers like Vape and Fagan. Yeah.
Yeah, who else over there? Pegasus Vapor Academy does a lot over there.
Yep.
Peg's good cat. Who else over there a lot? The Project Fog guys have been there quite a bit.
Mike Vapes has been there quite
Yeah,
much
Mike.
lately.
Mike's great peoples.
How do I? Oh, never mind. I got it. Excuse me.
We had Tia Vapes once.
All right.
Yeah.
Phil's show is on in 12 minutes. Phil Vapes, he's over there posting a bunch of links and shit. Check him out.
Don't forget my show and go to the G-Spot. That's what I'm planning on doing, Phil. I'm going to go over to the G-Spot and talk shit about you for an hour.
Hey, can I come? Can I come?
Sure. Sure thing. I mean, there's always room. There's always room.
That's my ninja. Hey, I'll battle rap somebody.
Hey,
Okay, bum eat mouth.
Hey, Fresh. Wasn't it you that one guy was going on your YouTube channel talking shit and on Instagram? Because I know there's a dude going around right now. Like,
If he
trolling
did,
on people's YouTube channels.
yeah, if he trolled me, I wouldn't care.
The guy that is calling names on Vape and Hidden Moms.
Yeah, it was on that guy's, and then
Yeah.
Mike Vapes was like defending him on Instagram.
Yeah, his name is on Instagram is Run Reviewer. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
if
you guys
someone
should look into it. It's like really terrible.
yeah, I mean, if someone talks shit on me, I could care less.
Yeah, don't feed the trolls.
Dude, I had to get not used to it, but I had to get how do you say that? I had to accept it right away, because if you think I'm polarizing right now, watch my channel, and like I said, I get offended by myself. Like, I watch me, and I'm like, ugh, I wouldn't have said that, but it's me. So,
I watch your channel.
hey, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Look at this heart.
There you go.
That's for you.
Hearts everywhere.
Ah, that's right. Showing love. But if there are some fucking heinous. Like, I remember when this is like when I was way less known. Not that I'm well known now. I'm really not. But when I was way lesser known, and someone's like, "You are the end of vaping," and I was like, "Damn, like that's some." You just came at my fucking life, basically. And I was like, I appreciate you taking the time and watching. And someone's like, I can't stop watching you, not because you're any good, but because I want to see what it's like to something fill in the blank. And I don't even think I kept reading. And then I approved it, and I was like, you know what? I appreciate you watching because your mom watched Big in Her Mouth last night too. And shit like that. What do you say to that? Like, you have that much hate in your heart that you're gonna be like, fuck you and the horse you weighed in on and like every fucking horse that's born after that horse. That's some fucked up shit. What do you even do about that? What?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean, mostly.
I'm actually asking, what do you guys do about that?
Oh, what do? I usually go in. I approve their comments because generally someone will flag them or something. I'm like, dude, I don't care what people say, and I talk to the guy for a minute. Next thing you know, he's subscribed to me.
Exactly. Fucking exactly. Oh, dude, man, I talked to Twisted about this for a while. What were you saying, La?
Oh, me? No, I said, isn't that right?
Yeah. That's usually what happens. Like, oh man, you're smarter than I thought. Like, you can suck a fucking dick than I thought. That's basically how it goes.
Exactly.
That's what I'm thinking anyway.
Yeah, usually just haters just make you more famous, anyways.
Yep. Haters
That's-
will spread the word about you like more than your fans do sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Can you believe that? Can you believe this fucking Thesis guy? Man, you watch this dude's videos. Next thing you know, everybody's over watching your videos.
Right.
Who cares?
And I feel like
I know for a fact I'm not for everybody. You know, when I do, you know, back when I was making like an hour and a half fucking long reviews on shit. People are like, dude, it's way too long, man. I didn't watch. I'm like, well, you gave me a view, so thank you.
Right.
Yeah.
You should all post your fucking URLs to your channels, and I will subscribe the fuck out that shit.
Yeah. Let's
Like,
see. Well, I'll just do. You're looking at the comments, right?
Yeah. Bill collector. It is, or it's not bill. It's student loans. Y'all want to pay my student loans? There it is.
Yeah. So yeah, if you hover over my name, you'll see my stuff pop up, and you just hit subs, man.
yeah. I watch your channel. I watch your videos. I like very much your videos, but please don't watch mine. I do 30 minutes quick looks, so it's
30-minute
quick looks.
Hey, sometimes when I do like fucking videos on like mods and stuff, it ends up being longer than I even thought it would.
Yeah.
My
But
biggest
that's your own thing. Like you're trying to explain something. Who cares what anybody else thinks? There's
Exactly.
that one guy, Trevor Vapes or whatever. He has like super long vape videos.
I do longer stuff than him, man.
I still watch them. I don't care. Something to do.
I was gonna say I like the longer ones because I put it on in the background when I'm cleaning and shit. I'm like, I'll specifically watch shit that I just reviewed, and then I'll go and watch someone who I think is just like, yeah, they're way better than I am because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I just say things, and then I click it on. I'm like, fuck, I should have said that. I was like, damn, that's good. So like, I just got done reviewing this mod. I'm like, this mod is amazing. And then I watch theirs, and they're like, this mod sucks. I'm like, yeah, this mod fucking sucks. And, yeah,
I fucking just throw my shit in the trash. I just bought this shit.
Right.
Retraction.
And then before we record it, I'm like, I fucking suck as a reviewer. No one should ever listen to me. Oh, man.
I watched a couple of reviewers myself on the daily, but
there's only
just for the same thing.
I'm
going to
different.
watch
I'm different. When I say something sucks, I try to prove technically
That Phil again?
that it sucks.
So you mean you're doing it correctly? That's all. We're
No,
done.
I'm doing my way.
Phil, we'll be on. We'll be over, man.
We'll be over. What?
Phil's sending out his things again.
Yeah.
Chill out, man.
I'll be over in a little bit, man.
Hey, so do any of you guys have the Sigelli 75 watt I was talking about earlier?
I've never heard of it.
You know if this is updatable?
It is if you just buy a new one.
Well, I didn't even buy it. I just received it today.
It is if you received another one.
Maybe.
That's how, as a
this thing-
reviewer, I don't upgrade. I just review it as it is. And then I sell it. I'm poor.
Yeah, this thing freaking, like, I'm vaping at like 50 watts, and I could put my mod that I had on my unregulated, and that's only 30 watts, and it hits way harder on my unregulated. And that's just 30 watts for just parallel. This thing I have to vape at like 50 watts, and it's still not hitting hard enough. Single 18650, but
It's weak.
Yeah, single 18650s are done. The Cooper, I just sold that today for full price, and I'm so done with single. Everyone like, you just need to buy a new battery. I'm like, you motherfuckers! Like I have so many batteries I could power NASA. You know what I'm saying? And not one of them, 40 amp 18650s can handle 60 watts on a .18 build. I just can't do it.
There are no such
Yeah, you
thing
can
as a 40 amp battery.
definitely tell the difference.
Exactly.
The maximum amperage you have is 30 amps, and it's on the LG HB6s.
I've got the LG HV6s right there. Bam. And of course on Amazon, especially if they're from China, they're probably just rewraps. But they say 40. I've seen 35. I've got 35. I've got the purple E-Fest that are at 30, and none of them will handle. None of them. The sub-ohm cells.
Yeah.
Yeah. They won't handle 60, 70, 80 watts at 0.10 bill.
Yeah, and DJ's absolutely right. It's the limitations of the battery and the way they are now. You know, if something was coming out that could legitimately fire, you know, give us that 40 amps, we would know about it long before it hit the shore.
Yeah.
Long before.
Their own lipos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so the single 18650 mods, you're gonna have to fire that shit way higher wattage than a regular thing, huh?
Absolutely. I know I don't hate, but I'm not a huge fan of mech mods, but I will say, in terms of sub-ohm builds, or very sub-ohm builds, 0.2 and under, are phenomenal. You know what I mean? And they last me generally all day on a mech mod, where I can't get a single 18650 mod to hit 60 watts when it says it's hitting 60 watts. It just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah.
How about the ghosts?
Sounds like a damn ice cream truck.
Sounds like a...
That's all of us get. That's all of us getting all those calls.
I know. We don't want
I'm
no.
not getting...
Is that Heavy? Heavy's in there with him?
All right, well, let's start wrapping up. We got 2 minutes left before his show goes live, and
Yeah, we don't want to step on his toes.
He'll just keep sending requests. So, plug your channels, introduce yourself, whatever you want to say. Anyone?
I'm Fresh03. I'm easy to find. I'm youtube.com/fresh03. That's about it for me. I do vaping reviews and mostly live shows. I do a live show every Wednesday and every Saturday with several of the people you see here. We got Rin, we got DJ. Hopefully I can lure Thesis on one time or two.
Yeah.
So
every week. You've already got me, and I'm gonna annoy the fuck out your fans forever now.
Oh, not my fans, man. They're a very accepting bunch.
We'll pass them.
Yeah, for me, Vapor Function LA official on YouTube, Vapor Function LA on Instagram. I do vape reviews and now live shows as well. Join with you guys, and I'm a box mod builder, so if people need box mods, just message me.
Awesome. DJ.
I'm Daniel from DJLSB Vapes YouTube channel. I'm also on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, on my own website, djlsbvapes.com. I do reviews, of course, more technical, more in-depth reviews. Yeah, that's and 30-minute quick looks. That's
quick looks. We should start doing single e-juice reviews for like 30 minutes long and just bore the hell out of our fans.
That's right. That's right. Because I that's the thing. You never stay on track. It's impossible.
Thesis?
What? Oh. I am Thesis himself. Vaping with Thesis is my YouTubes. And just Google Thesis himself, motherfuckers. Instagram, Twitter, SoundCloud, Facebook, motherfucking Vape Mouse, motherfucking all that shit. Thesis himself. Not Thesis somebody else. Period. I barely review shit. Just barely. I talk about things. I say, I like this. Now let's talk about mummies versus a Yeti. That's true. I didn't make that up.
I mean, I think you should call the episode String Theory with Thesis.
It would just end up by being a tampon commercial.
That's right.
Alright, and I'm Rin. All y'all should know who I am by now. I do reviews on flavors, mainly, and devices when I come across them. Go check out Phil on his show that's starting now. And bye, guys.
Bye.